try and be as loud as possible. Don't worry, I'm not an angry militant lesbian. I don't have any weapons, so it's okay. My name is Maria Pike, and I'm running with the candidates for a Democratic University for the position of Queer Students Commissioner. I'm a third-year Trent student studying international development with an emphasis in globalization, communities, and identities. Prior to my studies at Trent, I volunteered with LBGT MUN, which is a queer issues advocacy group in St. John's, Newfoundland. For the past 3 years, I've been actively involved in the queer community, and I'm currently a member of the Trans Events Committee as well as Transmission, a group concerned with promoting awareness of trans issues and promoting positive space for transgender, genderqueer, and gender variant people. As a member of Transmission, I've worked in conjunction with the Women's Centre, the TQC, previous Queer Issues Commissioners, and the Rainbow Service Organization. In collaboration with these groups, I've helped to organize such events as Trans Remembrance Day, Transmission Movie Nights, and Gender Talk. As the Queer Students Commissioner, I want to ensure that all queer and trans students have a voice in the TCSA. I want to make Trent a safer and more queer positive campus by raising awareness and around the issues that affect our lives. One of my biggest goals is working with Trent Health Services to ensure that all staff are informed about the specific mental and physical health issues that affect queer and trans students. For example, being a lesbian does not necessarily mean that you are not at risk for pregnancy, or that you are not at risk for many of the same STIs as people who are sexually active with men. It is also important for the staff at Trent Health Services to know how to address trans students and to be informed about things like hormone treatment, so that trans students do not have to find more knowledgeable doctors in Toronto. I know that Trent Health Services is more than willing to accommodate all students, but it is up to the initiative of others to bring these issues to their attention. As the Queer Students Commissioner, this would be one of my top priorities. Other issues that are of great importance to me are enhancing the safety of queer and trans students by supporting the Gender Neutral Washroom campaign. I believe this is hugely important in the fight to prevent the abuse that queer, trans, and non-gender conforming people face when they have to do something as simple as using a public bathroom. In addition to this, I want to fight discriminatory policies that affect Trent's queer and trans community, such as Health Canada's policy on organ transplants and blood transfusions. Finally, I will not allow for Trent's queer community to be written off as a special interest group, because our needs should not be considered secondary. We are as much part of this university as any other student, and I will make sure that this is not degraded by our needs being characterized and treated as special interests. Democracy means representation, and I will not stand for anything less than equal representation of all students, which is why I'm running as a candidate for Democratic University.
How do you have to think my thoughts. What do you think it would be a good method of tackling the Health Canada, Canadian Blood Services, and Canada Quebec restrictions on men who have sex with men, as well as just those who consider themselves queer for donating organs or blood?
Okay, well, they're two completely different issues, really. Well, kind of different issues. In terms of blood transfusions, other places have actually boycotted giving their blood as a way of saying, you know, if you're not going to accept all of our blood donations, then you're not getting any, and that's, you know, this is unacceptable. People need to be more focused on high-risk sexual behavior than on who people choose to sleep with. So,
yes. This isn't a critique or an attack at all, but it might be something that you have to face. Being a woman, how are you going to delineate your role as a Queer Issues Commissioner against the Women's Issues Commissioner, especially considering there wouldn't be a representative of men's issues, you know, in that situation?
I'm not sure I understand.
Just basically, how would you differentiate your role as Queer Issues Commissioner as opposed to the role of the Women's Issues Commissioner?
Well, I think they do overlap in a lot of ways, for sure. And there's lots of things that I'm sure I'll be working with the Women's Commissioner on. But they're also different in a lot of ways. And you know, I want to represent all of the people that identify as queer, trans, all of that huge acronym that I listed off on Tuesday night. I don't want to do anymore. Not all of those people necessarily identify as female, and those